my name is Liz, Miss Chávez if you're nasty, from Ensenada, Mexico. Contrary to what my deadpan face says and my monotone voice says, I'm an empath on the inside. And according to the PsychAlive website, an empath has the ability to sense feelings. So what that means is that I cry when you cry. It doesn't mean I care. It's like when someone yawns and you yawn, but with emotions. Like if I see you're sad, I'll get sad, shed a tear, clean my eyeliner, and keep it moving. I have things to do. This empath is busy. I'm multitasking, crying for some people, yawning for others, getting excited about things that have nothing to do with me. I mirror emotions. So if you talk to me angrily, in my head, I'm like, let's get ready to rumble. I'll add fuel to the fire, get you angrier, wipe my hands off it, and keep it moving. That's on you. I'm just the mirror, AKA your friendly neighborhood empath. Friendly on the inside. I'm so glad there's a name for it. I used to think it was hormones, like I had history's longest PMS. My PMS stands for pissed mostly, sad sometimes. My family is Mexican and traditional. If you have no idea what that is like, Disney has you covered. From the maker of Coco, where Miguel goes to the land of the dead with the power of a flower to get out of the family business, while Grandma Coco hallucinates her dead father. And Encanto, where Maribel gets bullied by her loving family for being the powerless one. Comes the Chávez, with none of the magic, but twice of the judgment. For example, my Bible quoter auntie, when she heard I don't want kids, Liz, Genesis 1:28, be fruitful and multiply. Really, auntie? That's so 1800s. Women obligated to have babies. Groundbreaking. Liz, what would your grandma say? Grandma, we're bringing abuelita into this. Okay. I hope she has nothing to say. The woman's been dead for 30 years. If you really want to be groundbreaking, why don't you dig her up? I opened the Bible. Tia, what about this? Only God can judge me. Is that right? Nobody else. Nobody else. Oh, you other mother lovers. Get out of my business. From Tupac, paragraph 1, verses 1, 2, 3 to the 4. 2 weeks later, in the middle of the night, ring, ring. Hola? Where is it? Who is this? Your auntie. Tell me. I can't find it. I can't find Tupac. It's in the New Testament, the last edition, where they actually get Jesus's color right.
Nice.
I can't find it. Where is it? I don't know. Ask abuelita. She's auditioning for Coco 2, Finding Tupac. That's my time for today.
Nice job. Really great job, Liz. You were at 5:06. Solid work, my friend. Solid work. Okay, great. Let's jump in. Okay, so your delivery is really funny to me because so my partner is also Mexican. She lives in Tucson, and it's funny to me because the flat affect, it reminds me of Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite, because that actor is very flat. So when he's saying it's like he's saying words very, very flat with the intonations that you have, right? So like your dialect carries through. It's parallel. So that's like that particular sort of character niche is a successful one. It's something that works. People like it. They respond well to it. Even though like this is probably you as an actual person, Pedro was a character, right? So the devices, Pedro as a character, the devices that made that character work, his flat affect and his speaking, the way his face was very flat and he would say like emotional things because he had a crush on this girl, whatever. It was very flat with it. And even like ups and downs, he was very flat. So those things work for his character. You are an actual human being and you have sort of like pieces of that. You still are more expressive, your face up and down, but like your voice you're physically more expressive, but your voice does tend to have that flat affect and it does work. So as a matter of self-awareness, consider trying going further in either direction in your presentational style and see what works more for you. If you feel more self-expressed when you do like the more dramatic version, great. If you don't, great. If you feel more like, if you can do a more flat effect, that might really work for you on stage. If you can even dial it back a little bit to make it be as flat as possible, I think that would really work as a choice, as a presentational choice. Sort of like Sophia from Modern Family. Apparently that's like not her real deal, right? Like that's like it's a put on thing and it works. And she's very, very, very rich because of it, because she leaned into a particular thing that worked as a character. So, and like she is one of the richer gals because she understood how that worked for audiences. She made it work to her advantage, and she's worked the shit out of it, and it's benefited her greatly, which is amazing. Good for her. Hell yes. Cool. So as far as your actual content goes, so I love your act out with your aunt. I noticed that you did it twice. I want you to build in a third time. With comedy, it's once or thrice. You got to do it 3 times. Because it's that 2, I'm still waiting. My brain wants that third time. My brain is yearning for it. You gotta do it once or 3 times. No room for 2s. Yeah. So build in a third act out there. I love the Tupac thing. I love making it sound like a Bible verse. That's such a nice parallel joke. I love that she calls you up and she's clearly been tortured by this all night and she's searching for it. I would even like maybe lean into that further. I love the concept of it. Maybe lean into it further and have her be like, I have gone through the Bible front to back. I can't find it. I don't know. Where is it? You got to tell me. I'm looking. I got to find this thing. Like really make her, hey, was it Kevin? Can you do me a favor and mute yourself for a sec? Thanks, bud. No, you're good. Make it like go further into it. Like make it like a thing where she's tortured, right? Because you just did this thing that's like cavalier for you, but it's like torturous for her because she can't lock it down. Okay, cool. In the beginning, because I'm so enjoying this second part. What did you cover what was the first part of your set? What did you talk about in your first part?
Me being an empath.
Right. Cool. Okay. So one of the things about the empath sort of trope is that it's very, very, very overused right now. I think it's kind of waning a little bit. It feels like it's waned a little bit, but for like a good while, it was very much like, oh, I'm very impacted by what they did because I'm an empath. I'm an empath, right? Like I feel everything that they do. It's so, it's like a way to sort of, man, I think it's a way that people co-opt other people's experiences, and they say like, I'm an empath, so I'm like so deeply impacted by your behavior, right? Really what's happening, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, is that people are acting the way they're going to act, and then we're human, right? And we are social creatures, and we pick up on those cues, and there's an impact for us. That doesn't necessarily make us an empath, right? However, because it is a trope, it's a fun thing to make fun of right now. So when you do that whole bit, it actually is very timely and it works quite well. I noticed that you revisited the on the inside thing, and I think you did do that 3 times, which is good because that's my brain again with the patterns. I feel for you on the inside. I think what will make that bit work a little more strongly is if you lean into the trope of it is very much a white yoga woman thing. If you are friends with people in the burner community, very much that is a thing. I'm such an empath, because I have feelings of any kind. No, it's a trope, and it's fine. It's all good. We're just human beings trying to figure ourselves out, not even judging it. I'm just saying that if you were to make that joke on stage, I think the way to approach it is to come at it like we have these things in common. Like, you like yoga, I like yoga. You go to Burning Man, I enjoy being in the desert with no money. You're an empath, I'm an empath. Although I would argue that the empath one, if you go revisit that, find a way. You want to AB3 that, right? A, create start a pattern. B, support the pattern. 3, upend that pattern. So it would be like, you like yoga, I like yoga. You're an empath, I'm an empath. You like being in the desert with no money, I like being in the desert with no money. You can play that trope, and then go into the empath piece. I just think that would be a strong way to do it, because it at this point in the game is almost like an eye roll situation. Like, people don't take it seriously, which is why I think it would be a successful bit if you lean into it like this. So the instincts are really good, and I think you did a good job tackling the topic in general. The on the inside thing, if you put a little beat there where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be right there with you. I'm gonna have a tear rolling down. I'm gonna feel those things on the inside. See how I put a little tiny space there? That beat builds the tension. Drop the punchline. Let a little beat at the end. You bookmark it with those little moments of silence to build the tension and release the tension. / allow for clap or laughter. Yeah. So this is a really cool piece too. I'm curious to see how you fold it into your longer sets. I think this will be good. I also really enjoy how you're building these little chunks. That is what I'm talking about when I say, like, when you build up like bits into a larger set. Liz, you come every week with like newer pieces that you're working to create a longer set. That is advantageous at the very least. Cool. All right. Really nice work, guys. If you guys want to drop some feedback for it in the chat, you can feel free to do so. Otherwise, Liz,